Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to a new video. My name is Prince Mason. As you guys can see, I have my pen, and whenever I have my pen, like I say, it's retouching time. Today I have something amazing for you guys. I'm putting out my retouching essential pack, and this is a pack that consists of 14 amazing retouching actions that I feel like everybody should have. Now, why should you use actions? Basically, retouching is really tasking, and it's something that will take so much time. It takes so much of my time. I'm sure it takes so much of your time. If you are a retoucher, a photographer, or you're looking to get into any of that, you're going to be spending a lot of time retouching. So using actions and presets and all this stuff is just going to save you a lot of time. And using professionally made actions will actually just make things a lot easier for you. Now, apart from saving time, it would also make your work better. Now, these actions I'm about to give you will definitely make your work better. And let's just get into it and see what actions we have here. Now, the first one is the advanced frequency separation action. And we have the basic frequency separation action. We have our skin smoothing. We have dodge burn. We have micro dodge and burn. We have global dodge and burn. We have our invert check layer, which is the best check layer for dodge and burn that I have ever seen or ever used. Trust me, I'm not just making this up. If you use the invert check layer for dodge and burn, you're going to learn how to dodge and burn like this. Yes. And we have our complete dodge and burn, reduce reds, eyes and teeth whitening actions, rich tones, light contrast, strong contrast, smart sharpen, skin texture. We have our even skin tones, and we have our soft skin or our reduce texture actions. So these are the actions that are going to be coming in this essentials pack. Now, I call it essentials because you really need to have it. I'm just not trying to sell something that's random to you guys. This is something I use all the time. So you guys really need to have this thing. So let's just go into Photoshop and I'll show you how some of these actions work. I think the first one that I'm going to show you how it works is the skin softening. So in this situation, she has a lot of variation, like her pores, her skin texture has a lot of variation, and most times, it's fine if you put out an image like this, but just so that your image looks a lot professional, you want to, reduce all that and make sure that the whole skin is even. So what we're going to do is just run this action that we've already installed. And by the way, if you don't know how to install an action, all you have to do is just double click the action and it will install, or you right click and open with Photoshop, whatever Photoshop you're using, and it's going to open and install in that Photoshop. Now, these actions are quite heavy because they are most of the layers there are changed to smart objects, so you just have to put that back in your mind. So now that this is open, let's check. We're going to set our on sharp mask amount to 100, our radius to 9, and our threshold to 8. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is the amount of sharpening you just want to put depends on how sharp or unsharp your image is. So right here, I'm just going to leave it at 100. When you're shooting beauty images, 100 is typically fine. Then for the radius, it's just the size of the pores. So we're going to use 9.7 for this one. Like I said, if you're using beauty images, or if you're shooting with the macro lens, or 100 mm is 70 to 285, then a radius of 9.7 will be fine for you, especially if your image is sharp. If your image is not that sharp, then you can just go a little bit more than that. Or if your pores are a bit bigger than this, then you can just, add probably go up to 12 or 13, just depends on your image. Then threshold determines when your at what point the unsharp mask will stop sharpening your images. So if we take our threshold all the way to 99, as you guys can see, it's not sharpening again. But if we just take it somewhere like let's say if we take it all the way to 0, you can see the image is too sharp. So somewhere around 9 or 8 is fine. It's just like a fine margin. So if you're using these values, I'm pretty sure they'll work well for you, especially when you're retouching beauty images. So I'm just going to click OK right now. And now that I've clicked OK, you guys can see immediately the skin is really soft. So I'm just going to zoom out a little bit and bring this image up so you can see. Let's see our before and our after. As you can see, it has reduced a lot of the uneven sharpness on the face. So what I'm going to do right now is pick a soft brush, make sure that my brush is black. What I'm trying to do is hide some part of this layer. Then I'll make sure my opacity is 100, my flow is at 100. I'm just going to paint over her eyes and just make that sharp. Just remove the softness from her eyes and her lips too. Then I'm also going to remove it from her hair. Can you say her hair? Continuously, her hair. And let's zoom in and see. As you guys can see, the whole skin is now really even. So let's see our before and now after. You guys can see how soft and nice this image looks. Now you can always reduce your opacity to reduce how effective that layer is going to be, or you can just leave it at 100%. Now for the sake of this video and just to show how well this works, we're going to leave it at 100%. Now after our soft skin and texture reducing action that we've used here, the next thing I like to use is my skin texture. I just want to add some skin texture to her face, because there are some parts of her face that, you know, the skin texture is missing, and it's normal, especially when you use like a lot of makeup and, you know, you're shooting, you're using dodge and burn to retouch. Some parts of the skin do not retain as much texture as other parts of the skin, right? So we just want to paint in some textures to, you know, this part of her skin. So what we're going to do right now is just run our skin texture action, and like I said, these actions are quite heavy, so just give it some time to do its thing and you'll be fine. And right now, what you do right now with the emboss filter that comes up is you actually pick the position of the light. Now for this light, I show with the beauty setup, so it's just right above my subject's face, so that's like at a 90% angle. But you know, if you're shooting from the side or a little bit to the left or the right, it just depends on where you're shooting from. Just make sure that you just point the angle to where you're shooting from. Like I said, this is directly above my model, so I'm just going to leave it at somewhere around 90, right? Then the height, I think this you can always adjust it later, but there are no perfect values for every skin tone, or there's no one value that works for every skin tone. So you can always just mess around with this, just move this around until you find something that works perfectly for your skin tone, right? I'm just going to click OK right now and add a little blur. Now the reason why we're adding blur is that skin is not typically too sharp, you know, you just have to blur it out a little bit so it looks good. So I'm just going to click OK. And right now I'll pick a brush, make sure that my opacity is at, let's say, my flow is at somewhere around 10, so 12 is fine. And I'll pick a white brush because I'm trying to reveal now. I'm just going to paint skin textures into some parts here, so you guys can see. Let me show you the before and after on the screen. Can you guys see that? So we're just painting some skin textures back into this. Now, if for some reason it's too much, all you have to do is just hit X on your keyboard. So that's going to switch your foreground color to your background color. And when your background color comes forward, it's black. So I'm just going to reduce some of that. Make sure it's not too much. So let's just paint some into the bottom of our eyes. So let's see our before and our after. As you guys can see, we've put some skin texture back into her face, right? And now let's move to the next one, which is sharpen. Let's say we just want to sharpen this image, right? So we have the smart sharpen action, and what this is going to do for you is just sharpen your image, but it's going to do it in a smart way. Like, you're going to sharpen your image and you can see the effects real time, right? So I'm just going to click smart sharpen and it's going to load. Like I said, actions are quite heavy, so just give it some time and it will come up. So we're just going to wait for this to come up. Okay, great. So now our smart sharpen is up, and if you just drag your radius up, you can see how sharp your image looks. And you guys know what sharpening is. It's basically just adding contrast to the details in your image, right? So we're going to use somewhere at about 2.1. The amazing thing is you can run this action more than once, so you can have different sharpening values for your eyes or the hair or whatever it is on your subject. So, but now we're just going to do like a general sharpen for our subject. So 2.3 is fine, and we're going to click OK. And now we're just going to zoom in so you can see how sharp the image is. So you guys see the before and see the after. So just look at her eyes, look at the before, and that's the after. So those are like 3 really amazing actions I've just showed you guys right now. The rest are like your dodge and burn, but we're going to go into that and I'll show you guys more of that. So let's just move to another image, this image right here, and we're just going to run our complete dodge and burn action. And this is our invert check layer. So what this does is that it helps you see the image in just black and white, but in an inverted black and white way. So now you can see everything without color, and that way it's just easy for you to dodge and burn your image. Remember, dodge and burn is just removing and adding light to specific parts of your image to blend it out. That's what it is. So without color, it's easier to see it. So that's our invert check layer, but we're just going to turn it off. Then we have our micro dodge and burn, we have our second micro dodge and burn, and we have our global dodge and burn layers. All you have to do is use a white brush to paint in. Make sure your opacity is at like 50% and your brush is at like 3, 4, 5% or 2%, and you'll be able to dodge and burn perfectly with these layers, right? So that's dodge and burn. I'm just going to take that out. For the even skin tones, all you have to do is just click, and what happens is that a gradient map comes out. And once your gradient map comes out, just click your gradient map, then click the bright part of your gradient map, which is like the light part. Like I said, you know, to the left you have your highlights, to the right you have your shadows on your gradient map, right? So once you click this color right here on your highlights, just make sure you pick a part of her skin that is the brightest. That's the part that has the most light on her skin, right? So we're just going to use our color picker tool to click there, and now I'm just going to click somewhere that's a lot brighter than that. Okay, maybe somewhere around here. Then I'm just going to pick somewhere around the midtones, so maybe somewhere around here, you know. Then pick shadows, so I'm going to click the shadows, and I'll pick somewhere that's pretty dark. Let's see, somewhere there's almost no difference between her midtones and her shadow. And once I click OK, all I have to do right now is just painting to her skin. So I'm going to get a white brush, white soft round brush, take my flow to 100%, and I'm just going to paint this over her skin. Oh, forgot to change my brush to white. Now I'm going to avoid her eyes and avoid her lips. Now what this is going to do is just make all the colors on her skin even, and her skin is just going to look like milk. So I'm going to show you the before and after right now. When you guys are masking, make sure that you take your time. I'm just rushing through this. So let me just zoom in and show you guys the before and after. So here's the before and here's the after. If you guys can see around her neck right here, you can see that it was kind of black before. So this is the before. It was like just kind of gray, you know, she had like a little color there. But now that we've done the even skin tones, that's the after. You guys can see that she has her colors back right there. And let's just look at her cheek right here. You can see the before and you can see the after. So this just blends the whole skin tones, and it does it in a very subtle way, right? So if I take my opacity all the way to like 36, let me show you the before and the after. You guys can see very well now. So see the before and see the after. Let me just zoom out so you guys can see. So that's the before and that's the after. As you guys can see, her whole skin tone quite even right now. So that's it. That's another action that is right here. There are a ton of actions inside here that you guys can use. Like I said, reduce reds. So I'm just going to click that so you guys can see it. So reduce reds, as you can see, it has reduced the reds in the image. So if you shoot an image that is quite red or has a lot of reds in it, you know, a lot of like Canon cameras, Sony cameras bring out very warm images. All you have to do is just use the reduce reds, and you can just dial your opacity to like a place that is just nice enough, just perfect. So this image right here, I think we are quite done with this one. So let's just go back to the old one and I'll show you guys again. So like I said, there are so many things here for you to use, from your frequency separation to your dodge and burn to invert check layer. If you guys want to purchase this, just go to my digital store. I'll put a link up here and put a link in the description below. I feel like this is something that everybody that is a retoucher should have. It really doesn't have to be this one, but you need to use actions, you need to use presets, because it just helps you get the work out of the way faster. But you know, if you buy this, then you're supporting the channel, and I really appreciate that. And also, you're not just buying something that is going to support the channel, you're also buying something that's going to work for you for such a long time, reduce your work hours, and also make your images better. So if you guys want to purchase this, click the link up here or click the link in the description below and go purchase this. I'm going to be giving 10% to the first 50 people that are going to purchase this from the website, and after that it's back to the normal price. If you want to see how the actions work, then I'm going to make a video that will be on the website, you know, detailing how everything works, and all you have to do, like I said, is just double click, install it, and you can just get straight into using this action. So this is just a small demonstration of what these actions can do. I'm pretty sure that you guys can use these actions to do way more than I'm doing right now. All you have to do is just install them and play with them. Anyways, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for supporting my channel. Go copy yourself the Retouching Essential Pack, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have an amazing week. Peace.